Golfers out there that are new to the game, we've all been in that position before where we're standing kind of on the range and on the first tee. I've been in that position before and we're not really sure what to do. So it's my job today to hopefully give you 3 simple tips and 3 different analogies to get into a better habit and have a better understanding of the technicalities and the overall swing motion. So think of tennis. To create a lot of power with a tennis ball, okay, so think this is a tennis racket, this is a tennis ball, we have to almost hit the back of the tennis ball for the tennis ball to go forward. If we hit the top of the ball, then the ball's not going to go very far. So to get the ball to go in a forward motion, we have to hit down and through, okay? So I see a lot of golfers who kind of get into a position where they help the ball too much in the air, so kind of we're hitting more down and through. So think about the grooves of the ground, we're hitting the grooves down in through the back of the golf ball. So kind of almost in that position. So a drill to focus on is, we're applying, so bring the ball really far forward in your stance. So we're dragging the club with our hands forward, kind of almost in that position, then we're dragging it forward. 2 is let the club do the work instead of us trying to hit the golf ball. So think about the control muscles of the fingers and the wrists instead of using the bigger muscles, okay? So I see a lot of golfers who get into a position, what happens is they're trying to somehow manufacture a shot with their fingers and their hands to try and get the ball in there. So what I want you to do is I want you to grip the club really lightly. Let the club face, so the club head is designed to be heavy to help you use the club to try and get the ball forward. I see a lot of golfers who get into a position where they're trying to fight against the weight of the club, so they get on top of that swing, they're trying to help the ball in there. So find a rhythm that you find comfortable. That is the main thing, right? Body turns, the arms are taken along with the ride by the body. So think about, we're using the bigger muscles more, so the chest turns through to the target. We're not getting in a position where we're kind of just using the wrist and throwing it at the golf ball. Number 3 is, I left the most boring one to last, which is grip, okay? Ben Hogan always used to say, the grip is the only communication we have with golf clubs. So if the grip is incorrect, then we're having to do things compensatory to try and hit the golf ball. So I always say grip is the most important thing. Think about, you're shaking somebody's hand. If you shake somebody's hand with the incorrect grip, then it's going to hurt, isn't it? It's like having incorrect grip in golf. It's going to hurt your golf if you've got an incorrect grip. So kind of a benchmark or a starting point I always use is, so think about, we want the ID, so we're going kind of in this angle, the club has to go more through the fingers, so kind of from the forefinger to the pinky goes diagonal. We close the hand, so if I was to grip the club there, my knuckles, I should see a couple of knuckles on my left hand, thumb's going kind of down the right hand portion of the club, then my right hand kind of just sits on the top of the... If I was to have the club going through my palm, so kind of through this angle here, then what's going to happen is that thumb's going to point down the left hand side. I'm not going to see any knuckles. Then I put my right hand on and then my thumbs are both pointing down the left hand side of the grip. So from that position, it's not allowing me to create any wrist hinge on the way back. So from there, I'm going to have to bend my left arm to get to the top of the backswing. Gripping it again, so through the fingers, I'm gripping it kind of from the side. I put the club out in front of me, grip it from the side, push that finger down so I can see a couple of knuckles. The right hand goes on. That's going to allow me to create a little more wrist hinge. So think about, if we grip it through the palm, so go back to that, put the right hand on, we're not allowing to create any wrist hinge. So to create wrist hinge, you have to bend the left arm. So think about, we're going through the fingers, put the right hand on. I can create much more freedom in my wrist just kind of doing that simple drill. And that stops me from bending my left arm through impact and on the way through. 3 tips. Tip number 1. Remember we talked about the analogy of feel like we're applying pressure into the back of the golf ball. Use the tennis analogy. If we've played tennis, we're using the racket to hit the back of the tennis ball to get the ball to go forward. It's kind of similar to golf. Number 2 is find your own swing motion. Build up a consistent speed and tempo. Don't try and use the small muscles to hit the golf ball, the wrists, the hands. We're using the upper body more, so we're using the bigger muscles, the shoulders, the legs, to try and rotate through impact. That's going to help you create more power. Whatever the body does, the club head kind of responds to what the body does. And tip number 3 is make sure that your hands are in a better position on the way through. So get the club going through the fingers, get a couple of knuckles on your left hand in this position, put the right hand on. We're going to create more freedom. We don't have to bend the left arm to get into the backswing. Avoid that weak grip. So guys, any thoughts on that video? Like the video. If you like what you see, Comment below with your thoughts on the video. Comment below what you would like to see in future on Jamie Allen Golf. Subscribe to all my other social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram under Jamie Allen Golf.